What's going on, y'all, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video we're going to be discussing My Hero Academia chapter 283, so let's hop right on into this.
Because I am here.
Alright, so let's go ahead and just hop right into this and let's get started. So we open up on, I guess, like the cover page for this one, where we see all the students just, they look rough. Like, you know, Seto, not Seto, I don't know why I'm saying it like Seto Kaiba. Ignore that. Momo, Jiro, Guy, and a few other, you know, Class 1A and, is it in 1B? Yeah, Class 1A and Class 1B. And they're just looking rough. You just see like a wake of destruction of like pretty much the forest that they're at is just completely gone, and it's just a ravine. Sarah's talking to Guy, Shoji, are the heroes, and he says it's too far away, he can't confirm it either way. And then you just kind of cut and you see you just see like what looks like bodies just like spread all the way around. You see Tokiyami, looks like he's it looks like he's holding Hawks, but I can't tell if that's Hawks or just a random person. And you have Dark Shadow just going around and helping people up. Looks like they look like either random heroes or it's just like medics or something, because they're all wearing like kind of like the same-ish uniform. So I'm assuming that they're medics because it looks like they're at a tent just to help treat the wounded. Momo then just says absurd, and you just see like a flashback. We only survived because the League of Villains didn't consider them worthy enemies. And you see Fat Gum and Lemillion, his friend, I think Sun Eater, is that his name? Or yeah, I think it's Sun Eater, the guy who can eat whatever he eats. He takes on those qualities from his quirk. Okay. And then we see just Gigantomachia just destroying everything, like right in front of us. Sero, Momo, Sugar Rush Man, and you see Majestic like just lifting up all the students and just sending them away. And he's basically saying your decisions and actions were correct. You kids played this right. And he's basically reassuring them, like, no matter what happens next, don't doubt yourself. And then you just see like Gigantomachia just destroying the ground. And you see the Mushroom Girl saying, hey, shouldn't the sedatives kicked in by now? And Minato is like, our decision, our moves, did we really do the right thing? And he looks terrified, which, any of the students looking terrified, that's completely and utterly understandable. But with Minato, it's just something about it just makes it even worse. Like, because, again, it's Minato. No one cares for Minato, but just the look in his face is just like, oh, this isn't good. And he's basically saying, he's basically questioning, like, if they did the right thing. Did the heroes make the right decision and all this other stuff? And I believe this is still him. He's just like, seriously, this whole nightmare, didn't we just make it all worse? And then you see Gigantomachia, looks like he's finally made it to a city and just breaking through, and he's like yelling, he's just screaming onwards to Master. And then you see the League of Villains, you see Dobby just looking in ecstasy. Toga's just like, she looks almost defeated. She's got almost like this defeated look on her face. And then you just see I think it's Twice, the guy with the mask and the top hat, and Spinner, the lizard guy. And then we see the doctor. He's just saying, you don't say, he's really coming. And he just starts laughing, and he's basically telling him, you nearly had us beat. If not for that one slip up, Shigaraki waking up turned everything on its head. Gigantomachia, he's basically describing like he's a living calamity who lives and dies for his master's sake. And he says that the Nomu were based off of were all modeled after him because every king needs his soldiers, right? Good, strong ones. And now with Maki on the move, total destruction is inevitable. Shigaraki will bring your hero-saturated society crumbling down. And then as he's saying this, we see just Shigaraki just kind of like, just in the middle of the panel and everything. Just you see Deku like just pissed off, and Aizawa is just down and bleeding. Shoto finally, shows up, and he's basically saying he had to help Ryukyu and them first, and he basically makes a bunch of ice for Endeavor's, telling him to cool off. That should provide it some comfort. And like Endeavor, like he looks rough, and obviously because he's burning himself. Bakugo is just saying damn it, because he's just pissed off because Deku just like blitz out of nowhere and got just pretty much got super, like a super speed boost. And he's just looking, he's just like, damn it, again. And then we have Water Guy, and I'm correct, that is Rocklock. Basically providing aid to Aizawa and just like tell him elevate his legs, stop the bleeding. And Deku, or Rocklock, is basically telling Deku to run, and Deku looks like tears are in his eyes, or that's just sweat just pouring down his face. He refuses. And again, I have never seen Deku like this angry. His eyes almost have like they're not exactly the same, but they remind me of Shigaraki's eyes from a couple chapters ago, and I'll try to pull up the picture that I'm referring to, like with almost, and like I referred to in that chapter, how Guts, like whenever he goes berserk, like his eyes just go completely white. I see that with Deku, but you still have like his pupil, like you still see his pupil, so he's not completely blinded by rage just yet. And Shigaraki is just like, well, time to die. And then all of a sudden his body just gets like, so from like the arm over, like the top of the arm to over here is just like ripped apart, and he's just like, what? And Deku's just like, that's right. And Shigaraki's like, I see why I was getting all busted up just a second ago. He had to push past his body's limits to keep going, but now that his hyper regen quirk is back, his body shouldn't have any limits at all. Shigaraki's like, what's the date today? And Deku, again, with his moment of realization, his body, and he's thinking to himself, Gran Torino said that he got all for one quirk translated into him, and that the power is too much for his body to keep up with. And so he's just flashing back to when Deku first got all for one, and how his body couldn't take it and just kept breaking every time. And then we go back, and it shows us that the completion status was at 75%. And so obviously Shigaraki wasn't able to either all for one, not one for all, didn't completely get transferred into him, or whenever they were building up his body, it wasn't fully completed. So that means he still has to get used to using all for one, or else he's just going to be like Deku at the beginning and just start breaking his body whenever he just tries to use his power. We then have a hero carrying Mirko, just saying, stay with us, you win this by staying alive, and you will win. And Mirko just looks rough. She's just like, her eyes are almost shut, she's just breathing heavily, like this part of her face, like the right side of her face is just all messed up, and like she's just barely holding on. And Shigaraki's just like, whatever, hyper regen's still working, and he's just, one touch should end this. And I've noticed that it looks like his face is kind of starting to go back to normal compared to how it was, like with the design, like his pupils are starting to come back in as opposed to just being like all white. And then we just see, after he says one touch should end this, we just see like a bunch of like clouds from the air, like whenever someone does like a super jump and just like the dust just happens and it's just like a explosion just going up in the air. Deku's got black whip, just almost like the Iron Spider, like the spider legs, like the Iron Spider suit, the iron legs. He's got black whip. He's got Shoto. He's got Rocklock, Aizawa, Water Hose Guy, Bakugo, and looks like Grant and maybe Gran Torino and a few other people who I don't really I don't recognize. And he's just like one, and then you just see one for all, the seventh user, and Rocklock saying we're floating. So Gran Torino's still alive, but barely, because he's just like that Shimura's, and it just cuts to Deku saying, or like float. So I'm guessing that's just Gran Torino just thinking it's float. It's Shimura. It's her quirk. And Deku is just like, is basically, once he picks everybody up, he's just like, up here is where I'll beat you. I swear it with all I've got. And that's it for this chapter. The next chapter is going to hit September 18th, so that's 12 days from now. So let's just hop right into the discussion real quick. Oh my. Yes. 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 Oh my god, yes. This is, in all honesty, this is a simple chapter compared to some of the other stuff. But my god, if it wasn't so effective. Obviously, I don't think Deku is going to be one-shotting Shigaraki right now in this, because if so, that would just be counterintuitive. Something that I would like to mention, and I believe it was last week's chapter. I'm not the one who came up with this, but I saw it on Twitter, but I can't remember who posted it. But apparently, like, the town that Gigantomachia was going through is apparently that was apparently Deku's town, where his mom lives at. And I just want to say this real quick. If Gigantomachia runs through that town and Deku's mom dies, I'm agreeing with the original Twitter user. But again, this was a week ago, and I didn't save it, and I don't remember who it was. But if Deku's mom does die in this, oh man, that's gonna be fucked up. I don't know how Deku would react to that. Like, I think for a minute he would be broken. It'd be almost like I think it would be similar to the All Might situation back from the USJ, whenever the League of Villains was kind of like first introduced and they attacked the students, and All Might was just so, like, he was still smiling, he just like ripped off his tie and just anger. I think that's what, obviously that was going to what happened to Deku. The future big three of Shoto, Bakugo, and Deku finally getting reunited, going against Shigaraki, and Bakugo realizing that Deku's got is even further along than him now, and he's just so angry. And then Deku still managed to be able to use Black Whip and Float, plus just using a One for All to save everybody. Like, oh my god, that is just so fucking cool, man. Oh my god, like, I'm glad that I'm glad that Gran Torino is at least still hanging on to life. I'm glad that he's not dead as of right now. I'm glad that he was able to at least see Deku use Shimura's float quirk, and just, again, Deku bringing up all the pros that were around and Shigaraki while using float. That just means his mastery of all for one for. God, son of a bitch. That's confusing. That's just so irritating to me that I keep messing that up. But that just shows that his mastery for it is getting even better. The fact that he's able to use like almost three different styles of quirk, black whip, float, and then just I guess the regular like strength boost that one for all gives, just shows that he's getting better and better at it. I think the last time I saw it, or the last time he said he was at like, I feel I could be completely wrong on this, but I think they said it was at like 28% usage of all for one, or one for all. No, all for, yeah, one for all. Fuck, son of a bitch, that's getting me. I think that last time they were at 28%. I would not be surprised. Like, I don't expect a super high jump in the percentage of him being able to use it. Like, I don't expect it to be almost like going from like, if I'll double check, like 28 to like 50, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's like another 10% increase to where it's like, if, like I said, if I'm correct in remembering where he's at 28 right now, I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of this war arc he's at 38 or even 40% mastery of it. I hate that we have to wait, 12 days. It's not 2 weeks like, it had been, but still, I'm just, but if that 12 days means that we even have a really long chapter, I'm so excited for this. And I can't wait. This is gonna be so much. This is gonna be so amazing. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this discussion of chapter 283. Let me know down below if you read it. What did you think? What are some ideas? What do you think is going to happen in the future? What are some of your theories? Just, I don't know. Let's just get the discussion rolling. But anyway, as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all have a great day, and I will see y'all later.